Hello, my name is Ryan Modica, and this message is for C-level and VP level leaders in the Nashville area. I want to welcome Nick. He's moving to Nashville. Welcome, Nick.
Hey Ryan, thanks for having me, man.
I've known Nick for a couple of years now, and I wanted to help him in this process. So that's why we're doing this today. So thanks for your time, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we're going to jump into some questions so people can get to know you. So the first question is, why Nashville? Why Nashville, and then who's your target prospect?
Yeah, no, I hear it's got a good food scene, so that's why. No, ultimately, I proposed at the end of this month. My fiance lives in Nashville. She has a farm there, just north outside of Nashville. We're starting to get heavily involved in the community there, so my life is now transitioning to those areas.
That makes sense, and that's an easy move. You're currently in Detroit, right?
Correct. I travel back and forth every single weekend since October of last year.
Okay, well, it's time to get that finished up, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So next question: why operations leadership? How did ops become your passion?
Yeah, no, that's actually a good question. I'm a second generation ops guy. My father did 48 years in automotive union. It's just something I was ingrained in a little age, walking into factories, meeting the plant manager, and said, "Hey, I want to be that guy. I can make a difference." So growing up, witnessing all levels of the plant, being involved in company parties, get-togethers, getting feedback, and saying, "Hey, I think I can make a difference in this."
I love it. I love it. Next question: what is your leadership style, and are there any mentors that impacted your approach to leadership?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say it's a coaching, collaborative style. I like to build an autonomous culture. I like my department leaders to trial and error, take things, try to figure things out themselves. I'm a highly servant leadership style as well. I want to support them. I want to help guide them. I'll definitely step in when I need to. And definitely some mentors along the way. My first mentor was a ex Harlem Globetrotter. He worked for FCA at the time I was there, towering 6'7", 6'8" guy, and he had over 300 employees at that time on the trim line. And I remember shadowing him for many months, and every single morning he'd walk around and say hello to every single one of his 300 employees on the trim line. And I was like, man, that takes forever. Why do you do that? And he kind of turns at me, kind of snaps a bit. And he goes, because you never know what somebody's going through. And that's just been ingrained and stuck with me because it's so powerful. It's so true. It starts with a hello, how are you doing? Start that conversation. So I think that was really had a big effect on me. My next great mentor was actually come in the plastics world. He was an executive for Whirlpool in the appliance sector, took me under his wing and, gave me my first shot at plant leadership, and kind of developed me into, guided me into things I needed to know along that time, how to react to certain situations, kind of the 3-4 wall of plant leadership. So I am definitely ingrained in that, and he's definitely still a mentor today and somebody I lean on.
Okay, I've got another question I'm going to throw in that wasn't in the mix. How do you gain buy-in? What's your process to get buy-in for change?
Yeah, you got to understand the why. I mean, it's not to be cliche, but you got to understand why you're doing that, and you gotta inspire the buy-in by showing the why, and allowing individuals that need to buy in to be a part of it, to be a part of that discovery, to be a part of that why. So I think that's quintessential.
And I know, but we're sharing this with others, but you've been a change agent and a multi-site. Maybe brag for a second on some of the changes you've been able to make through getting buy-in.
Yeah, no, it's good. My first plan, we went from a low EBITDA earnings plan, 4%, to a 16% EBITDA earnings plan within the first 6 months. And that wasn't easy. It was in a community that had a lot of individuals, 20, 30-year plus vets. So it was really difficult to get buy-in on certain things. You walk in and you fresh set eyes and you want to make changes immediately. But we had a lot of non-standard work. So immediately came into that plan and understood, hey, this is not standard. We're actually too much labor in this cell. We're how can we combine it, still make it very ergonomic for an individual, but let's improve it in an ergonomic standpoint and a step standpoint, and combine certain cells. So it's still relatively easy for the operator. So I think getting that non-standard work, combining cells, I think was a really good initiative that we tackled right away in that facility. And then also, you're only as good as the team around you. So the next facility, it's a negative earnings facility, currently the one I sit out of today. And, it had to build the right team, had to get the right individuals in to help lead certain departments, had to Pareto our top issues. The 80-20 rule, I think, was a really big focus for us. We can't solve everything. Let's go at our, the top 20% of that.
Those are some great success stories right there.
Yeah.
So the next question is going to be about failure. So tell me about a time when a decision you made led to failure. How did you respond and what did you learn?
Yeah, failure is good. It's part of growth. It's a part of understanding your skill set, the team's skill set, and put definite permanent corrective actions in place so it doesn't happen again. But ultimately, we had a good one, I guess, would be we had in the injection molding world, we had a tool that was running down cavitation on us. We still had a large demand from our customer for it. We made the quick decision, and I authorized the quick decision to pull that tool without truly getting a round table with our department leaders or certain stakeholders in that, and made a decision to quickly pull it. It was on a Wednesday. It ended up being a 72-hour repair, and we ended up short shipping our customer. Now the failure is because we could have assessed it and understood the timing of that repair a little bit better, and maybe done it on a weekend, or just built a bank and better planned for that one.
Yeah, like you said, you learn from failure, and it's inevitable. So
yeah.
All right, so last question. It's a dual question. First part, what energizes you as a professional? Second part, what drains you as a professional?
Yeah, I think energizing me is seeing the growth in my team, seeing the growth in facilities, being a part of those changes, impacting front level team leaders' lives. One thing we really strive here in the facilities that I lead is employee engagement. Anywhere from taking out random vending machines, to putting in an honor system, raffle tickets, rewarding for attendance. I'm really involved in an employee engagement factor. So that's really what drives me. And operations can be up and down, and it can lead you in some crazy dark alleys sometimes. But I think I get energized by the people around me and the team around me. And if they're down, let's build them up. Let's see what it's going to take to build them up, and make those and implement those initiatives. And what drains me, is when you put a process in, you think you have all the right stakeholders, you got all the right people involved, and you put the right corrective actions in, but it continues to fail. And I will say some of that is just some pure negligence. So that's what drains me. Might not be, you got to go back and see if the right corrective actions are the right corrective actions. But I think when you get all that involvement, you get all the buy-in, and then ultimately you push the green button and it still fails. I think that's what drains you. But that's also what it's about to be in operations, and the challenges it is, and the opportunities is how do you allow them more autonomy to walk into a process?
Well, that makes a lot of sense. And like I said, folks, Nick is moving to Nashville. He's a high energy, high impact, and get buy-in. He has multi-site leadership. He can do a single site. He's willing to travel up to 3 days a week. Come and get him. So anything else you'd like to add, Nick?
No, I'm excited for the next step in the process. I'm excited to speak with these companies and have an opportunity to just engage and show my energy in person, and then just walk them through what issues maybe I can have immediate turnaround on.
Okay, guys. Well, that's it. I appreciate your time, Nick. We'll get your feedback right away.
Okay. Cheers, Ryan.